1. Hoeness reveals truth, Leao was never Bayern Munich target. Transfer news. 2. Rafael Leao transfer update, Bayern Munich talks not advanced. 3. Bayern Munich's transfer saga, Leao or Nico Williams. Breaking down the latest rumors. 4. Why Rafael Leao stays at AC Milan, tactical and financial insights revealed. 1. Hoeness reveals truth, Leao was never Bayern Munich target. Transfer news. Rafa Leao's future at AC Milan just got a major boost, thanks to a surprising admission from Bayern Munich's honorary president, Uli Hoeness. Here's what you need to know about the transfer rumors that never truly materialized, and why this revelation matters more than you might think. Let's start with the basics. Rafael Leao has made it clear he's not looking to leave Milan anytime soon. In a recent interview with L'Officiel, the Portuguese winger called wearing the iconic red and black jersey an absolute source of pride, effectively shutting down speculation about his potential exit. This declaration alone would have quelled most transfer chatter, but the story takes an interesting turn when you consider Bayern Munich's involvement. For months, fans and analysts speculated that the Bavarians might be circling Leao as a potential replacement for Leroy Sané, who recently joined Galatasaray. However, Hoeness recently debunked those rumors in a candid interview with BR24 Sport. Leao was never a real objective of Bayern, he stated. There were some initial meetings, but they didn't lead to anything concrete. This admission is significant because it highlights how quickly transfer rumors can evolve, and just as quickly fade, when key players make their intentions clear. But here's where it gets controversial. While Bayern isn't pursuing Leao now, the club is in a tricky spot. After losing Sané and the injured Thiago Alcantara, or another key player, depending on the context, company's team needs offensive reinforcements. They've explored options like Nico Williams, who opted to stay at Athletic Bilbao, and other targets, but nothing has solidified yet. The irony. Leao, who remains deeply committed to Milan, could have been a tempting solution if Bayern's interest had been genuine. And this is the part most people miss. Transfer markets are as much about timing and chemistry as they are about financial offers. Even if Bayern had pursued Leao more aggressively, the player's loyalty to Milan and his current form might have made the move unappealing. Plus, Milan's recent performances and Leao's role in their attack suggest he's not going anywhere soon. So what's next for Bayern? The club will likely continue its search for new talent, but with no clear frontrunner emerging, the summer transfer window could get even more unpredictable. Will they settle for one signing, or will they go all in on multiple acquisitions? And here's a thought-provoking question for you. If Leao had been available, would Bayern have made the move, or was this always a case of the grass is always greener on the other side? Share your thoughts in the comments. Should Bayern have prioritized Leao, or was this the right call for both clubs? 2. Rafael Leao transfer update, Bayern Munich talks not advanced. Rumors were swirling, whispers were spreading, but the reality. It seems Rafael Leao's potential move to Bayern Munich was nothing more than a fleeting thought. ***, let's dive into the details and unravel what really happened behind the scenes. We've all been there, caught up in the transfer gossip, imagining our favorite players in new jerseys. For a while, it looked like Portuguese star Rafael Leao, currently dazzling for AC Milan, might be heading to the German powerhouse, Bayern Munich. Reports suggested the Bundesliga giants were seriously considering a summer swoop for the talented winger. But here's where it gets controversial. Uli Hoeness, the esteemed president of Bayern Munich, has stepped in to set the record straight. He confirmed that there were some initial discussions with AC Milan regarding Leao. However, according to Hoeness, these talks never progressed beyond the preliminary stages. In other words, it never became a serious, concrete negotiation. Think of it like this. You might casually mention to a friend that you're thinking about buying a new car, but that doesn't mean you're actually going to the dealership and signing on the dotted line. Similarly, Bayern Munich expressed interest, but it never materialized into a formal offer. Leao, at 26 years old, is a highly sought-after player. His contract with AC Milan reportedly includes a hefty release clause, rumored to be well over €110 million. This high price tag didn't deter other clubs from exploring the possibility of a deal, but Bayern Munich, it seems, wasn't among the serious contenders. And this is the part most people miss. While there was some initial contact, Hoeness emphasized that Bayern Munich never actually made a formal offer for Leao. The club's interest was there, but it never translated into concrete action. Rumors even suggested that Bayern Munich was prepared to offer a package deal, potentially including €75 million in cash, plus either Leon Goretzka or Kingsley Coman, two established players in their own right. However, Hoeness' statements effectively debunked these reports, painting a picture of a situation that never truly took off. So, what's next for Leo? Well, the latest reports indicate that he's scheduled to join AC Milan's pre-season training camp, ready to work under the guidance of the new coach, Max Allegri. What do you think? Do you believe Bayern Munich's version of events? Or do you think there's more to the story than meets the eye? Perhaps the high release clause was a major deterrent. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Did Bayern make the right decision? Or did they miss out on a golden opportunity? Let's discuss. 3. Bayern Munich's transfer saga, Leo or Nico Williams. Breaking down the latest rumors. Bayern's Leo interest cools as Williams' chase intensifies, but is this just a negotiation tactic? Bayern Munich's pursuit of a left-wing reinforcement has taken several unexpected twists, with AC Milan star Rafael Leao initially emerging as a prime candidate only for interest to apparently wane in recent days. The conflicting reports emerging from Germany and Italy have created a puzzling picture that leaves fans wondering what's really happening behind closed doors. Just weeks ago, sources cited by both Sky Sport Italia and Bild suggested Bayern had established intensive contact with Leo's representatives, indicating serious intent to submit a substantial offer for the Portuguese winger. But here's where things get complicated. Recent reports claim the Bundesliga giants have dramatically cooled their interest, instead prioritizing Athletic Bilbao's electrifying talent Nico Williams and Paris Saint-Germain's Bradley Barcola as their preferred targets. Yet despite this apparent shift in focus, multiple reliable sources maintain that Bayern hasn't completely abandoned the Leo option. Rather, they may be keeping him as a high-quality plan B should their pursuit of Williams hit insurmountable obstacles. The financial parameters surrounding any potential Leo deal remain remarkably fluid, with wildly varying figures circulating through the media landscape. Milan's asking price has been reported anywhere from a staggering €100 million to a more reasonable €70 million, while some creative proposals involving €75 million plus either Leon Goretzka or Kingsley Coman as make-weights have also been floated. Leo's situation at Milan appears stable on the surface. He signed a contract extension until June 2028 that made him one of the club's top earners at €6.5 million annually. The 26-year-old is widely considered the linchpin of Milan's attacking strategy. However, Milan's failure to secure European competition has created serious financial constraints that might force the Italian powerhouse to consider offers they would have rejected outright in more prosperous times. Inside sources suggest Milan might privately entertain bids in the €50 to €60 million range despite their much higher public valuation. From Bayern's perspective, accommodating a talent of Leo's caliber would require significant squad restructuring and wage bill adjustments. Established performers like Coman and Leroy Sané could be sacrificed or see their roles diminished to make room for the Portuguese international. Sporting director Max Eberl reportedly considers Nico Williams the dream signing for Bayern's wing position, though both Leo and Barcola remain under serious consideration depending on how transfer negotiations evolve. What's particularly intriguing are the reservations supposedly expressed by certain Bayern executives regarding Leo's compatibility with the club's philosophy. Concerns have been raised about his defensive contribution, work ethic, and off-field persona, all crucial considerations for a club with Bayern's exacting standards and winning culture. These doubts, combined with the enormous financial commitment required and the necessity to arrange departures to balance the books, have introduced significant complications to what might otherwise have been a straightforward pursuit. Neither Leo himself nor Milan's leadership has made any public statements addressing Bayern's reported interest, leaving industry insiders and fans alike speculating about what might happen next. Milan's financial predicament appears to have softened their typically resolute stance on retaining star players, yet no formal bids have been submitted according to well-placed sources. Further muddying the waters is the reported interest from several Premier League clubs, making predictions about Leo's future even more challenging. Opinion among Bayern supporters remains sharply divided. Many are excited by the prospect of Leo's creative flair and goal-scoring prowess bolstering their attack, while others echo the board's concerns about his tactical discipline and overall fit within the team structure. As Bayern's transfer priorities continue to evolve and Milan's valuation remains unmet by concrete offers, this potential deal seems far from conclusion. The situation remains fluid with no immediate resolution on the horizon as both clubs engage in a sophisticated game of patience and strategic positioning. And this raises the question that divides football experts everywhere: would Leo's undeniable attacking brilliance justify the massive investment and potential tactical adjustments Bayern would need to make? Or should the German champions prioritize a more defensively disciplined option like Williams despite the fierce competition for his signature? Is Bayern's apparent cooling of interest genuine or merely a negotiating strategy? Share your thoughts on whether this would be a transfer masterstroke or an expensive miscalculation for the Bavarian club. 4. Why Rafael Leao stays at AC Milan, tactical and financial insights revealed. Rafael Leao's future at AC Milan isn't just about football, it's a financial chess game that could shape the club's strategy for years. While fans might assume his talent alone keeps him in red and black, the truth: there's a hidden layer of economics steering this decision. And yes, it's far more complex than you'd expect. /n/n Let's rewind. Over the summer, whispers linked the Portuguese winger to giants like Bayern Munich. Yet here he is, back in Milan's number 10 jersey, pre-season training underway. Why? Tactical needs and a financial loophole buried in his contract. Here's where it gets intriguing. /n/n La Verita recently revealed details of a renegotiated resale clause with Lille. The French club Milan paid €30 million for Leao in 2019. If Milan sells him below €45 million, Lille gets nothing. But once the fee hits €46 to €51 million, Milan owes up to €5 million. The kicker? For transfers between €52 to €100 million, Lille pockets 20% of the amount over €51 million, capped at €14.8 million total. For example, a €80 million sale would net Lille €10.8 million, €5 million plus 20% of €29 million. But here's where Milan gains the upper hand. Any sale above €100 million means Lille gets nothing beyond the initial €5 million threshold. Sudden genius, right? /n/n But here's where it gets controversial. Is Milan holding on to Leao purely to inflate his value and maximize profit? After all, keeping him until his market price cracks triple digits lets the club keep every euro above that for themselves. And this is the part most people miss: while this protects Milan financially, it could create tension. What if Leao, or another club, feels the team is prioritizing profit over his career ambitions? /n/n Imagine a scenario where a buyer offers €90 million next summer. Milan would technically lose money compared to waiting for a €105 million deal. But does that make ethical sense? Should a player's potential be held hostage by contractual fine print? Or is this just smart business in an industry where clubs often struggle to turn profits? /n/n Let's break down the math again to clarify. The higher Leao's sale price goes, the better for Milan's bottom line. But only if they clear €100 million. It's a high-stakes gamble. Stay until 2025. His value might peak. Get injured. The clause expires in 2026, locking Milan into that €14.8 million payment regardless. /n/n So, what's your take? Should clubs leverage these clauses freely, even if it risks player relationships? Or does Milan owe it to Leao to let him choose his future, regardless of the financial calculus? Drop your thoughts below. The debate's just getting